So we got this pretty awesome new bezel here to go in here. Pulling the old bezel out. It's pretty extensive how to get into this. I don't know. Ford just really went all crazy. There's an outer panel at the bottom. You gotta take that outer panel off. Then there's an inner panel. You gotta take that inner panel off to be able to get to this panel, to take this panel off. We open this up. Let me flip this over. And we pulled this out and pulled this out. Okay, that's this one here for the bigger one, and then this one. Well, this one, we started noticing some sparkles on it. Alright, you see those two right there? They look a little discolored. These wires are completely bare. See that? So now what I need to do is I need to take this apart. This is still sparking. You got a little bit of continuity there going on. It's creating some feedback, and what it's doing is it's turning the headlights on and off. So what we need to do, because that's the headlight switch, what we need to do is we need to get in here and take this apart, redo these wires and stick them back in there. That way they're not causing a ground on each other anymore. So what we need to do is we need to get a little tiny thing, and you see this little pin right there? That little pin right there is what's helping to lock it in. We need a little tiny piece to push down in there to get that plug unlocked so we can yank it out the back, because it goes in from the back and then locks in. And then we'll see where we are with some of these other ones. Alright, I got these working. Basically what I did, I ended up ripping off part of that plug. I'm sorry, I'm not going to show you because it's basically jimmy rigged. I took some push connect wire, the slide on kind, and I put two of them on the end of it and put it in there, broke that part of the plug so I'd have enough room in there for those, and then plugged it all back in. The lights worked fine. Okay. The one problem that I have is I ended up blowing out the other HID headlight on the other side. Professional and shit. Whoops, zoomed in. Alright, let's zoom back out. So I decided I needed to get in there to look at this headlight, because this headlight wasn't working. I thought maybe the ballast. Sometimes the ballast, you can give it a little tap, it'll start working. Sometimes the wiring is messed up. And boy, is it messed up. What I got here is I've got an HID kit that don't go to this truck. This HID kit goes to a completely other setup. Okay, this is the one that was in here. Basically, this had double-sided tape and it was glued right there. And then it had this on the end of it, which that does not go to that. And it was just in there, glued. This is a proper setup. Okay? This ring goes on and holds it in there. That was not there. You know, this ring probably could have held this in there if the ring was still there. But it was not. So I had to break this out of there. Now I'm working on cutting out all of this glue that's in here, so I can get the regular headlight to set in there the way it's supposed to and create a seal. So now let me do that. Alright, well, this is for the kit for being able to do the Mazda. I was just getting the headlight. This headlight, it works on this one, but it's not the right locking ring to go on there. So now we've got headlight problems. Yeah, we can put that on there. I might could just throw some electrical tape around that and hold it in place for now. That would be fine, I guess. But the next thing is now I have to wire up the correct plug so we can have regular headlights in this. I'm going to have to do the same thing to that one. It's really just one thing right after another. Remember a long time ago I said I really enjoy doing my own project from scratch? And I don't want to buy somebody else's problem. This is what I was talking about. I mean, that was what, 8 years ago I said that? 6 years, something like that? The problem is a lot of the guys, they'll get a vehicle like this and they'll just drive it. They'll drive it to hell because they don't care what's underneath it. It's got to be done right. Otherwise, you stand the risk of blowing it up going down the road. I mean, the further I get into this, the more I have no idea when I'm going to get this done. It's really freaking frustrating. I start trying to do something inside the dash, that leads me all the way out here to a headlight to find another problem. That somebody else just decided to glue it and smash it together. Why did I buy this? What, $4,000 down the freaking drain? I mean, unless I finish this, we blew $4,000. That's all I can do. All I can do is just to keep pushing and trying. Otherwise, we threw away $4,000 to get this on the road. Plus all the parts we're starting to have to buy. And then I come to find out I can't even use the tires that I had for the rims. So now I got to buy tires for that. Or we have to. And we're doing this together. I'm done for right now. I don't even want to look at it. Guess I can get that dash put back in there for now. I don't know. I'll be back. Alright. Got the new bezel in. Radio's still sitting up there. I think we're going to need a new radio. Went ahead and swapped out the cup holder. That still needs to be cleaned, but it's in there. We got the new airbag key bezel in there. That's not plugged in no more. But now we have a pocket back again, where the old one did not. This just is waiting for me to get a radio so that we can wire that up. The bezel for that is down there. This wiring is going to stay open like that because we need to get into the other door over there to that speaker and see what other wiring might or might not be in there. I'm leaving the bottom here open for the time being because we're going to end up, oh, what am I looking for? Well, we need to run a power wire underneath there and get a power wire going from the battery up. The other day we left the key on, and because we were trying to mess with that to get that out of there. Well, we left the key on, which means that the battery was running, which means we killed that battery. So, of course, we have a backup battery. So this one's on here. We're charging it up all the way so that we have a fully charged battery. Here's all the old parts. We're going to throw all that away, melt it down, and make a Pokemon out of it or something. I don't know what else I'm going to do on this video. This one's done immediately after we finished the last video. So we're still looking at all of this stuff. We're about ready to just take this truck and shove it in the big trash can and cut it up in little pieces and show it what it's made of. But anyway, still need to get some cutting wheels. So yeah, bear with us. All right, forget it. I'm gonna work on it some more. Got it 2 center blocks and 1 2x4 up off the ground, all the way across. I've got it almost all the way level right now, and I wanted to check it out. Remember, I always tell you guys that when you lift it up 2 blocks high, 2 blocks in a 2x4, whatever it is, level it out, and then get under here, and you're gonna measure from the ground up to the bottom of the lowest point of the frame, which on a Ranger, your transmission cross member right here is the low point. Now your frame drops down again right here, so that's pretty much almost level with the bottom of that and your front cross member. So this being the lowest point. Let me get this because I can't do 2 things at once. All right. And you take and you measure from the ground straight up. Now what we're sitting at right here is about 15 3/4. this truck with these 20s on it stops right there. If I jack it up anymore, it gets into a bind because the bags are fully compressed at this point. If I jack it up anymore, then it's going up against that lower bag mount or the upper bag mount, and it's starting to pick the truck up. So we get over here and we measure the tire. And you're my mouth. And we look at this. With 20s on it, we're sitting at almost 14 and a half. It's actually about 14 is where it's sitting at the bottom of the tire. So 14 inches, that means we're 1 3/4 inches from laying out completely. The 18s have a narrower tire, and the 18s are also shorter. So we might gain, I want to say 3/4 of an inch to an inch of that all the way laid out space. I'm starting to think, since I'm going to go ahead and redo this whole cross member, I might just go ahead and cut this upper bag mount out. See that lip right there? Bring the upper bag mount up to there. Go ahead and weld it back onto there, and instead of my gussets going up with this part of the frame, make them angle down just a little bit, enough so that this can come up high enough to lay completely out. But I won't be able to do that until I can get the right tires on here. That's one thing I've always said before also, is put the right diameter tires. If you can't get the rims you want, at least get the right height in tires, diameter, from top of the tire to the bottom of the tire. That way you can work with the exact circumference and diameter of your tire on your build so that you can make sure that everything goes where you want it to go. So that's what I'm looking at right now, is possibly going ahead and redoing that, bringing it up a little higher so I can get it to lay fully out at the frame, not necessarily the cross members. The cross members may still hold it up just a hair higher. A lot of people are saying I'm not going to be able to get the gas tank in there completely and get it up high enough. I have yet to see. If I can't, when I'm redoing this cross member, if I'm going to mount up that gas tank in there and see how high up I can get it. I'm also going to reconfigure that cross member that's underneath there. The one next up from that one, well, yeah, that one. It goes up and over and back down. There's one more. Let me show you. Sitting here talking and talking, trying to explain it, when I can just lay down here and show you guys. Look at here. See that cross member? It goes up over a big fat pipe right there. Up and over. So if I can take this cross member, flatten it out so that it's not up and over, just flat on top of the frame and go straight across, and then weld it in and make it look good on there. I can take this exhaust pipe and go over it between the cab, which already has a heat shield right there. Go between the cab and the cross member and just bring that pipe up and over. That way I'm clearing the bottom of the frame for what we want to do. And then this cross member here, it's completely cut out. So this one also has to be rounded. I need to get a piece of metal and round up and over and eat up as much space as that. The drive shaft has also touched the bottom of the cab. If it touches too much, your drive shaft's going to split and break apart. So now that's another thing. I'm debating on whether I'm going to actually tub the bottom of the cab, or I may end up just beating it up high enough so that the drive shaft won't hit it, and then also beating it up right through here and then making me a new rounded arch up and over, which Kyle a long time ago, come to think about it, let's go over here. Whoop, this way. Let me make you guys dizzy. He gave me a piece of steel. Look at the Mazda over there. Look at there. See it? He gave me this piece of steel, and I was like, what am I going to use that for? And he was like, I don't know, just use it. If I cut that sumbitch in half, wouldn't that make a good drive shaft tunnel? Nice and thick, pop it up in there, weld it back to that cross member. Oh yeah. That's looking good. Still got the headlight. Now I gotta order headlights. Been charging this battery. So that's done. But yes, that'll work for both of those. I might even use a piece of that to put onto this. If I cut that out and then arch it up and over, I can make a complete drive shaft tunnel on that, but I still got to bring that up. Never mind, not on that one. Only on the one inside there. And then I might end up using a piece of it for the exhaust. Who knows? We'll figure that out along the way. So there we go. What a pain in my ass. Remind me next time I do this that I need to take a truck that hasn't been touched. All right. You feeling a little bit better? We're not sure if she's got a gallbladder. Gallbladder going bad or just a serious infection. They've already deemed out gallbladder. So it's just some kind of infection. What bladder? Maybe bladder. But she's taking antibiotics. She's getting a little bit better each day. So keep your fingers crossed that my wife doesn't die. I'm just kidding. She ain't gonna die, folks. We got too much planned for our future. So, all right. That's it. Go get your truck high. It's New Year's Eve, and I got to go to work. It's 5 o'clock. Yeah, I got to leave. Later, everybody. Thumbs up for the whole thing.